Hey everybody, Philosopher Stoner 666 here. So, just going for another one of my little evening walks and decided to make a video. I was reading the local, we have free papers in the city. You get them in like Toronto, like Now Magazine and The View, and they have it's like a syndicated column, the Savage Love column, and then you usually get the adult classifieds, like the hookers and stuff. When I was reading this guy's column, Savage Love, and thinking about sabotagers and how you might, see a lot of these people. I'm just going to preface my video by saying, I'm not conservative or right-wing or anti-gay or anything like that, but I was just thinking about reading his advice column, and it's this woman writing in about how her husband's a deadbeat, and yada yada yada, he's unemployed, he just spends all day, jerking off and playing video games, doesn't have a job, and at first when they were married it was really great, and his advice straight off the bat is, divorce. And it's like, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't disagree with that, but I just find it interesting how, like, he's a gay guy, right? And they lobby so aggressively, so fiercely for gay marriage, right? And it just seemed to me, well, and then, so aggressively and so fiercely the same attitude with just divorce this guy right away. And it's like, well, it doesn't make any sense to me that it's like this whole, the whole gay marriage debate. My stance is just abolish the institution of marriage outright, entirely. Just get rid of it. It serves no function, and people aren't even aware of the function. So guys like this, the gay community, they want this marriage thing, and they don't even understand the concept. They got no respect for the idea of marriage as an idea or as a concept. When you want to marry someone, it's marriage. The saying "till death do us part" is literally what it means, right? It's like you are going to be making a commitment to somebody for the rest of your life. And nowadays we see in our culture, people willy-nilly getting married for, celebrity marriages that, a month later they're in divorce court, and then, you see the husband or whatever gets, saddled with alimony and has to give the woman or whatever, 50% of her belongings and stuff. So it just, just thinking about this, just get rid of it entirely. That if marriage in the past, if we do a genealogical approach to it, served a function. It was all about survival. So, you got married to somebody and it was about maintaining a family unit. Personal happiness or sexual gratification were, a nice thing to have at the end of the day, but they weren't the main reason why. And so you would have, if a family was going to get divorced, if the husband and wife were going to get divorced, you would have, the community would step in. You would have your other family members, your relatives say, no, you got to work it out. You got to make this thing work because, we're counting on you guys. You got a job to do. And, community would step in. The priests or the religion would step in. And, it was all part of this greater game. And nowadays, you see, it's just the death of community. And so my other video is talking about, Nietzsche and all this other, pretentious philosophical stuff. But I really do think the critique, it really is true that we live in this world of collapsing values where the values that are stated don't mean anything. Like marriage today, this era doesn't mean anything. And I, for one, I keep reading these advice columns, my exposure, like I am the product of a divorced marriage, I'm an only child. I just see around me this wasteland of values that we adhere to the rhetoric of it, but in practice, in theory, we are just lost. It doesn't mean anything anymore. We have the overabundance and the luxury that, we don't have to take a marriage seriously because, you can just get a divorce, no-fault divorce. You can just dump somebody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. And so, I'm not getting married, and I think we should just get rid of marriage altogether. The only real reason you need to get married is to, have kids. And it's like, I find it funny because homosexuals want to get married, and I'm not knocking homosexuality, but it just seems to me a little redundant unless they're planning on having children. Do you need a piece of paper to say, oh hey, I'm really into you, let's fuck, or something like that. You know, it just seems so ridiculous to me. But really, at the end of the day, what I think it all is, what it's all about for most people, is instead of serving a function or a survival function or a necessary function, it's about ego. You know, women, they want to have, or men too, want to have a wedding day and blow hundreds of thousands of dollars, or, you know, $1 million on a wedding day, and wear dresses and think it's so important, and, you know, do that, you know, many times, or they just do it just for the laughs, just for the sake of it. And so yeah, anyways, the whole thing's a mess. So we really seriously need to start reevaluating. And I just can't stand these sort of columns where you see the sabotagers, like just the fact that this guy, he's homosexual, he resents that he can't get married, he's not legally allowed to do it with his homosexual partners, and straight people can do it. And we just see the collapse all around us, that, you know, there's a 50%, something like that, 50% divorce rate, and just all this poisonous sabotaging, this lack of community where nobody gives a shit, where everything is just throwaway. I say, you know, fuck it. Just throw it all in the fucking garbage and start over and do something new. Anyways, that's just my philosophical critique for the day. Philosopher Stoner 666 out.